But first, the owner of one of London's biggest LGBTQ venues says rising could threaten his business. Jeremy Joseph, who runs the iconic GAY, has told ITV News London he is worried about that club's future and many others like it. Back in 2006, there were 123 LGBTQ venues open in London, but in the last 11 years, more than half have closed, and today only 51 remain. In Westminster alone, which includes Soho, 15 clubs have closed down in the last decade, and in 19 of London's 32 boroughs, there are no LGBTQ venues at all. Well, Ria Chatterjee went to Soho and spoke to one woman who says she feels the community is losing its safe spaces.
All of the places that I went to when I first came to London, they've all slowly disappeared over time. So, yeah, it's really sad.
And a question of safety.
I've had it myself where I've gone into venues with my partner or with a group of friends, and we have had abuse. We even got hit across the face in a bar in East London, and it actually had like a little pride sticker in the windows.
How, Carla asks, can there be a push for LGBTQ rights, but also a decline in their community spaces? Soho on a Friday night doesn't tell the whole story.
Vauxhall hasn't really fared very well, has it?
No, it hasn't. I mean, historically it's been one of the places that has had a great variety of different kinds of LGBT nightlife going on. But recently, as you can see, with these empty railway arches that used to be clubs, there's been a great decline in the number.
The question is why? Dr. Ben Campkin's research reveals a familiar trend.
Often venues are closing within context of development. There have been some quite high-profile cases where the bars and clubs concerned have been extremely viable and have been extremely popular just prior to closing. But the owners have sold on the property because the developers have offered them an attractive price.
Venues stripped of their heritage in pursuit of profit. That's how many feel. The Black Cap in Camden shut down following a dispute over plans to turn it into flats, one example of many. Back on Old Compton Street, Jeremy Joseph tells me he fears for the future of his venues. His rent for GAY Late has increased by £105,000 a year.
It's not just about a business, it's people's livelihoods. I've got managers who've worked for me for like 15, 20 years. We're about to go through 50 years since the decriminalisation of homosexuality, and there are venues that play part of that history of where we've got to today in our fight for equality, and they have gone.
On Thursday, I gang out with Scotty.
And it's not just about partying. Places like the Royal Vauxhall Tavern are performance spaces that have launched people's careers. The Mayor's office recently created an LGBTQ venues charter for developers and pub companies to sign up to.
How successful do you think that can be? For example, putting a flag on top of a venue, is that really going to save these venues?
You know, it's worked. We've managed to save Molly Moggs. You know, and I've worked really hard in conjunction with the pubco that owns that place to have it reopened as an LGBT venue. It was just going to be, you know, another cocktail bar, you know, in Soho.
Police figures show that homophobic hate crime has gone up in the last year. So for Carla and her friends, these venues are a matter of protecting the community. Ria Chatterjee, ITV News.